Welcome to the 2026 State of the Campus Address. As we celebrate our 150th year as a university, we are excited to have this opportunity to gather, to reflect on our successes, recognize incredible buffs who continue to shape our campus, and collaborate on a vision for our future. My name is Dr. Crystal Sear, and I have the privilege of serving as a tri-chair for the Boulder Campus Staff Council alongside Leah McDaniel-Parvez and Jessica Sandoval. Staff Council is a shared governance body on the Boulder campus that represents and advocates for the interests and rights of CU Boulder staff and research faculty in an effort to improve the employee experience. It is my pleasure today to welcome all of you as valued members of our CU Boulder community. As we come together for this special moment in the life of our campus, we ask for your courtesy and respect to your peers and colleagues who wish to enjoy the program. Please, we request no signs or other interruptions from the audience during the program. Any such disruptions of a university-sponsored event violate campus policy. And now, it is my honor to welcome our student government tri-executives, John Mazulit, Camden Sharkey, and Gianna Guido, to the stage for our land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Dr. Sear. As the student body presidents, we have the privilege of serving on behalf of more than 38,000 students at CU Boulder, representing their interests both inside and outside the campus. We are honored to be delivering the land acknowledgement today to reaffirm and remind us all of our ongoing commitments and engagement with Indigenous people. The University of Colorado Boulder, Colorado's flagship university, honors and recognizes the many contributions of Indigenous peoples in our state.
CU Boulder acknowledges that it is located on the traditional territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Arapaho, Ute, and many other Native American nations. Their forced removal from these territories has caused devastating and lasting impacts. While the University of Colorado Boulder can never undo or rectify the devastation wrought on Indigenous peoples, we commit to improving, enhancing, and engaging with Indigenous peoples and issues locally and globally.
We will do this by recognizing and amplifying the voices of Indigenous CU Boulder students, staff, and faculty and their work, educating, conducting research, supporting student success, and integrating Indigenous knowledge, and consulting, engaging, and working collaboratively with tribal nations to enhance our ability to provide access and culturally sensitive support, and to retain, recruit, and graduate Native American students in a climate that is inclusive and respectful. Thank you. And it is now my pleasure to welcome to the stage Dr. Raylan Rabaka.
Thank you to our tri-executives. I'm Raylan Rabaka, Professor of African, African American, and Caribbean Studies in the Department of Ethnic Studies, and the founder and director of the Center for African and African American Studies here at the University of Colorado Boulder. Oh, it is my pleasure to be with you all today to introduce my colleague and friend, Chancellor Justin Schwartz. Chancellor Schwartz arrived on our campus in July 2024, bringing with him the experience of having served as Provost and Dean of Engineering at Penn State University. In the 20 months since his arrival, his leadership has carried an invitational spirit. He has asked us to imagine more generously, to trust the strength already present among us, and to shape communities grounded not in fear or habit, but in shared responsibility. Again and again, he has reminded us that a university reaches its fullest potential when each of us is called to offer the best of ourselves in service of something larger than any single ambition. Chancellor Schwartz has devoted his career to large public and land-grant universities, places born of a democratic promise that knowledge should not be hoarded but shared, and shared widely. He holds fast to the conviction that higher education must do more than produce information. It must cultivate understanding, enlarge responsibility, and answer the claims of the public good. Under his leadership, CU Boulder has renewed its commitment to the difficult and necessary work of transforming lives, not as an abstract ideal, but as a moral obligation to help shape a world that is more just, more humane, and more sustainable than the one we inherited. Over the last year and a half, I have been able to bear witness not only to his innovative leadership style and bold vision for CU Boulder, but to Justin as a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a faithful friend. He is more than a chancellor to me. He is also my brother and friend. Together, we are audaciously imagining a new CU, a University of Colorado rooted in belonging rather than gatekeeping, in care rather than convenience, a university where all are included and no one is excluded, not as a slogan, but as a daily practice, shaped by policy, pedagogy, and presence. A place where the most marginalized among us are not pushed to the margins of the story, but centered and celebrated as bearers of knowledge, insight, and possibility. This vision calls us to remake the institution in the image of its highest ideals, to recognize that excellence and equity are not rivals, but partners, and that our collective future depends on who we choose to see, hear, and uplift. Please join me in welcoming to the stage my dear brother and friend, Chancellor Justin Schwartz. Go get it.
In the midst of the Cold War, President John F. Kennedy recorded a message for the opening of a new shortwave radio transmission facility. The powerful facility was a major technological advancement, allowing the U.S. to occasionally reach listeners beyond the Iron Curtain. In his remarks, Kennedy offered a powerful endorsement of optimism and resolve in the face of an unknown future, a case for looking forward with hope and self-reliance. A man may die, he said. Nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Ideas have endurance without death. 63 years and 2 days after that broadcast, Kennedy's words remind us of the powerful impact of a potent idea. 2,500 years ago, the Greeks theorized that democracy, or rule by the people, could be an effective and equitable form of governance. For millennia, humans around the globe dreamt of flying across land, across oceans, to the moon, and beyond, and then made it happen. We imagined we could prevent and cure disease, and then develop the tools, methods, and practices to observe and treat the microscopic worlds inside our bodies. In developments that would have astounded Kennedy's contemporaries, we combined our understanding of sound and technology to make music fully portable, bringing cultures together. As we navigate today's challenges, our ability to generate ideas will allow us to endure and prevail. Good morning, and thank you for being here. The University of Colorado celebrates its 150th year in 2026. Each of you here today is helping to build and sustain the legacy of this great university through your teaching, your learning, your research, your creative work, outreach, and service. Thank you for sharing your ideas and energy in support of our amazing campus mission. Thank you, my friend, Dr. Raylan Rabaka, also known as Professor Hip Hop, for your kind introduction. And thank you to Staff Council Tri-Chairs Crystal Sear and Leah McDaniel-Parvez for doing the emceeing today. And thank you to our awesome tri-executives, Gianna Guido, John Mazelit, and Camden Sharkey, for grounding us in our land acknowledgement and for your constant reminder of why we are here. Weren't they amazing? Yeah. I also want to recognize CU President Todd Solomon, his outstanding leadership team, as well as our Board of Regents for their enduring commitment to our university and to the people of Colorado. Thank you. And please also join me in welcoming the new campus leaders who have joined us since our last State of the Campus address. Please rise to be recognized when I call your name. Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost Ann Stevens. Senior Vice Chancellor for Operations, Janelle Ford. Our wonderful new Police Chief, Ashley Griffin. Next to her, the newest of our Buff leadership, Athletic Director Fernando Lovo. And Vice Chancellor and Managing Associate University Counsel, Esther Henry. And the ones who I suspect may be the most popular, you may have seen our new police dogs, Harlow and Dax, hard at work and being friendly out in the hall. So it was around the 1950s when public and philanthropic investment in universities was beginning a forward march that would last for decades, expanding access while powering America's economy, innovation, and our global competitiveness. Universities across the United States became the destination of choice for students from around the globe, bringing together individuals to create, nurture, debate, and disseminate ideas. With unyielding devotion to free speech and academic freedom, commitments that remain alive today at CU Boulder, universities began to drive progress in ways that no other enterprise could. Today, higher education is in flux, and at times, even under attack. We are witnessing dramatic evolutions in student expectations, US demographics, geopolitics, artificial intelligence, political pressures, and the business of athletics. Perhaps most concerning is an erosion of public trust. This past year has created instability for many institutions receiving federal funding. I remain deeply sympathetic to the hardworking researchers whose grants were paused or terminated, and to those who work and whose identities have been downplayed or denigrated. But this is not the first time that higher ed has faced shifting landscapes. But the speed and scope of uncertainty of the past year has truly felt overwhelming. As a result, many of our peer institutions are slowing their new initiatives or displaying uncharacteristic hesitancy. Some of them remain uncertain how or whether to evolve. Yet while we all understand the challenging situations in the US and around the globe, I firmly believe that today is our chance not to pause, but to evolve from within, to evaluate our strengths, to define our future, and leap ahead of our peers. So today, I'm asking you for your ideas to help shape our vision for our future. So where do we begin? In times of tension, we can find commonality in our shared values. Towards that end, we launched a grassroots effort to define and articulate our campus values. I want to thank all of you who have already participated. This process will continue in the coming months before we formalize our shared values this spring, anchoring our strategies for the coming years. Another key element of understanding who we are is celebrating, reflecting on, and reckoning with our past. Throughout our 150th year, we will recognize and honor those who shaped us through events, memorials, and film. And as we think about Buffs who deserve the spotlight, we recognize that too often We have neglected many of our communities and ignored valuable perspectives. We want to uncover the forgotten people and truths of our past, and I truly hope all of you will join us in that effort. Advancing diversity and equity and inclusion remain core institutional priorities. Thank you. We must be intentional about creating a campus culture where our differences across languages, across foods, across music, culture, and ideas are embraced and celebrated every day in every corner of our campus. So, guided by our past, rooted in our shared values and mission, and with an appreciation for one another, we are focused now on our future. At last year's State of the Campus, I announced 4 areas of focus, which have been further refined this year through conversations across our campus. Of course, we begin with our people. We are committed to fostering the success of all students, all faculty, and all staff. I don't mean success in generic terms. I want the absolute best for Leah and for Crystal, for Rayland, for Gianna, John, and Camden, and for all of you. I care about our collective success, and I care about your individual well-being. So how do we measure the success of our students? In the fall, we were excited to announce record undergraduate retention for the 2nd year in a row, while our 6-year graduation rate again rose slightly to 74.3%. We should be proud of our progress, yet we also know we have more to do. In the next phase of our student success work, we will expand high-impact initiatives that improve retention and graduation rates and enhance the student experience, because student success is much more than obtaining a degree. In spring 2023, CU Boulder approved a new common curriculum focused on sustainable futures, a set of shared themes, skills, and outcomes to be woven into the education of all undergraduate students, regardless of major. The time has come now to launch this curriculum. We must also improve the wraparound support for students, beginning the moment they become buffs, helping connect our academics to student curiosities, interests, and careers. We plan on expanding access to first-year seminars, career development, global learning, and digital profiles, and more. I'm also calling on all of the colleges and schools to engage and hold themselves accountable for a seamless experience as students pursue their degrees in their 2nd year and beyond, because retention isn't finished after year 1. We know that living on or close to campus is another key driver of student success, as it allows students to build peer relationships and engage in activities that help them feel belonging. I am really proud to share that we are making plans to offer first-year residential learning community experiences to all incoming undergraduate students at no extra charge as soon as fall of 2027. Through a public-private partnership, we are also moving forward with a new student housing project on Colorado Avenue, right across the street from campus. This creative solution will house at least 1,650 students without financing or funding from CU Boulder. We look forward to a fall 2028 opening of the first phase. And we are also investing in modernizing the tool sets that support our students. We're launching a new degree audit platform that will allow students to self-check their academic progress, which will free up advisors' time for more in-depth and substantive academic planning. And soon, a new constituent relationship management, or CRM, will help students plug into co-curricular experiences more easily, enhance their access to information, and help us track which programs are most effective at closing gaps in retention and graduation. I appreciate these so many voices from our faculty and staff whose ongoing contributions are critical to the success of this initiative. And the success of our graduate students is equally important. Building on a successful grant from the Sloan Centers for Systemic Change, additional fund will now allow the graduate school to launch the Sloan Scholars Program to recruit and support promising doctoral students in STEM. This grant will also support systemic changes to the graduate student experience at CU Boulder, improving the lives of students all across our university. We are also continuing to emphasize the mental and emotional health of students through our Student Flourishing Initiative. This initiative has been intentional about drawing ideas from students themselves and from almost every unit on campus, as well as external experts like the JED Foundation. The group is developing recommendations for how we can best help students thrive and determining how to measure the efficacy of our efforts. We aim to be the national leaders in student wellness. We also must be honest about the financial well-being of our students and families, understanding that far too often the financial obstacle is not tuition, but housing, food, transportation. We have begun approaching donors not only for traditional scholarship gifts, but for gifts to support student housing, meal plans, and the things that make attendance possible. CU Boulder will also continue to support the Basic Needs Center, which last year served nearly 2,000 students with food, housing placements, emergency funds, and other essential resources. I am so grateful to our tri-executives for their commitment and support of the center, to generous financial contributions from the CU system, which was matched by my office, and truly grateful to all the hardworking staff and volunteers at the Basic Needs Center. They deserve our appreciation and a round of applause. I am confident that we all have a shared belief that no CU Boulder student, employee, or family member should lack the most basic resources. And while CU Boulder exists to serve our students, we also care deeply about the success and retention of our staff and faculty. The results from the recent faculty and staff engagement survey highlighted a clear desire for stronger support of well-being. So we established the Division of Employee Health and Well-Being to help faculty and staff thrive personally and professionally. Our aim is simply to serve every employee, regardless of job title, regardless of type, regardless of unit. Thank you, please. I am so appreciative of the leadership of Associate Vice Chancellor Jess Doty. She doesn't know I'm going to do this, but make her stand up. Where is she? I know she's here. Jess and her incredible team have launched a new Well-Being Innovators Network to champion wellness initiatives. They've also developed CU Recharge, a new inclusive program offering strength training sessions through the eGym Fitness Hub. The technology in the eGym Fitness Hub is the first of its kind in the United States. And Jess and her team ain't done yet. In the coming months, we will be expanding mental health services to include couples and family therapy, health coaching, and a mental health cohort series. We will be launching financial wellness initiatives, planning new events and meetups to improve employees' sense of belonging, and deepening our public health and campus safety offerings. Investing these resources is the start. Making it easier to integrate well-being into our workday and life is truly a team effort. I expect all of our supervisors, including myself, to create a culture of care and well-being by creating space for everyone to use the services and resources we've provided. Together, we will establish CU Boulder as an employer of choice where faculty and staff experience holistic support. Meanwhile, in this past year, campus leaders have worked closely with the Boulder Faculty Assembly on a faculty salary task force, illustrating shared governance at its best. The task force issued recommendations to improve the competitiveness of faculty salaries, address serious salary compression, and increase the transparency and effectiveness of our promotion, tenure, and retention processes. We are currently prioritizing the recommendations, and we are going to announce the next steps soon. And in another great example of shared governance at work, I'm excited to announce the launch of 4 new CU Boulder Community Belonging Awards. This was initiated by CU student government and endorsed by all our shared governance groups. These awards will recognize exceptional individuals who are fostering belonging within and across our campus. Thank you to our shared governance for bringing this idea forward. At CU Boulder, we support our people as individuals, and we also support what everyone does to meet our mission. CU Boulder again celebrated a super strong year of impactful research and creative work across the entire campus, earning more research funding in 2025 than any previous year. The recognition and visibility of innovative buffs is also important. 1 week from today, mark your calendars, Professor Dan Doak of Environmental Sciences will deliver CU Boulder's 127th Distinguished Research Lecture, presenting his work of over 30 years on rare species conservation. Many species of conservation concern, including condors, spotted owls, and Rocky Mountain plants, have benefited from the amazing work of Professor Doak and his collaborators. Our faculty are also focused on the survival of democracy and higher education, recently earning a 3-year grant from the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation to explore how administrators and humanities faculty can work together to foster free and open conversations about divisive issues and rebuild trust in higher education. Congratulations to Elias Sachs, Terry Wilson, Jennifer Ho, and Michelle Moses. Now you can give them the applause. I am so excited to see CU Boulder leading in this critical area. It is a strength for our campus and a critical area of focus and need across American society. The development of new research and scholarly creative work is worthy of so much recognition on its own merits. But we are also excited to see when our research and creative work translates to discoveries into marketable and impactful products and activities. We are right now eagerly awaiting the initial public offering of Inflection, the quantum technologies brainchild of Professor and Gilla Fellow Dana Anderson. It now holds the title of CU Boulder's 10th unicorn spinout, which refers to companies valued over $1 billion, with a B, dollars. And entrepreneurship is not the only way we translate our creative work to practice. Last fall, Governor Polis appointed Colorado law professor Margot Kaminsky and associate professor Vivek Krishnamurti to the state's AI Impact Task Force. In addition, Professor Kaminsky and adjunct faculty Julia Martinez and Thomas Ward joined the Colorado Supreme Court's new Legal Technology Advisory Committee, recognizing their pioneering scholarship on law, policy, and artificial intelligence. As artificial intelligence continues to shape our world, it is so clear to me that CU Buffs will be involved in nearly every aspect of its growth. So let's ask ourselves, what would it take to lead the pack? Can we be the ones to make AI truly sustainable? Because at CU Boulder, we not only support our people, we support our planet. We have only just begun and must continue to elevate our focus on sustainability. Nationally, we will play a leadership role across higher education as the host institution for the new Carnegie Elective Classification for Sustainability. In this role, we look forward to evaluating and supporting institutions from across the country and beyond in their own sustainability efforts. Important work is also happening at the center of our campus community. The new Spike Center for Sustainability Education, launched just last summer, has helped cultivate strong student-centered partnerships across CU. And through the Environmental Center, we are reducing waste by implementing reusable systems in campus dining, expanding access to research equipment through the Green Lab Shared Core, and donating thousands of pieces of lab glassware to local school districts, benefiting more than 4,000 high school students. Now, you may recall last year, we eliminated single-use beverage plastics on campus. Now I've set my sights on eliminating all of our diesel buses, replacing them with an all-electric fleet. And we are well on our way with 8 electric buses purchased and only 10 more to go. Together, these efforts reflect a campus fully engaged in shaping a more just, resilient, and sustainable future. Sustainability at CU Boulder is a shared commitment woven into how we teach, how we learn, how we research, and how we serve. Our final campus priority is aligning our resources to our mission. We are on pace right now to have another record-breaking fundraising year, thanks to the tremendous and dedicated efforts of our advancement team, working with countless partners across our campus. Most recently, we formed a new partnership with the Reicher Scholars Program, which provides $4.2 million in scholarships to help more Colorado students complete their degrees in less time and with less debt. And we have set the stage for expansion and improvements in other key areas, including a new strategy for campus-wide outreach efforts recently bolstered by the receiving of the Carnegie Elective Classification for Community Engagement. And we are now strengthening those efforts through coordinated action. The newly formed Office of Outreach and Community Engagement will allow clearer processes and more robust support for all of you who want to deal directly with the amazing communities across Colorado. Last month, we began a new partnership with Colorado's Office of Economic Development and International Trade, OEDIT is the easier way to say it, to support our communities by preparing them for the transition from coal power to clean energy. Our Masters of the Environment students, Norman Kalin, Peter Landis, Alex Rudowski, and Alec Waz, are already contributing to this work as part of a capstone project. This is a great example of how we are supporting Colorado communities and carrying the flag of sustainability. We have also embarked on a new strategy for global engagement, an effort that must go hand in hand with our local, state, and national outreach efforts. We are now in the middle of searching for our inaugural Vice Chancellor for Global Affairs to develop our first global strategic plan, strengthen our international student enrollment, expand study abroad opportunities, and develop strategic international partnerships. These many examples I have mentioned today are just a small portion of the truly outstanding progress happening all across our campus. Building on this firm foundation, we have the ability to dream, to consider our next big, audacious ideas that need urgent attention. How do we graduate every student enrolls? A 100% graduation rate. Or provide on-campus housing for every student who wants it. What will it take to prevent the next pandemic before it starts? Or develop new sources of sustenance to address global hunger? How can we build the safest, most seamless, most tech-savvy campus on the planet? Some of the greatest ideas in human history have come from asking unbounded questions. Let's be the place where such questions are not merely rhetorical. As we move into lunch, you will hear from Professor Stephanie Johnson and Waleed Abdullati, who are leading a team charged with developing our campus-wide process to gather your next big ideas. This call for ideas is deliberately broad and open-ended. I refuse to stifle creativity by providing too many parameters. What is most important is that these ideas be meaningful, ambitious, and sourced from throughout our campus. Where you sit in the organization does not define whether you will come up with a great idea. As we consider the future of CU Boulder, I want each of you to ask yourself, will we spend our time and energy reacting to change and clinging to the way things were? Or will CU Boulder be the place that seizes opportunities for the good of humanity? So as we gather today, in the midst of Black History Month, 2 days shy of Abraham Lincoln's birthday, let's be guided by the words attributed to him. The most reliable way to predict the future is to create it. So let's create. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I sat there a little long in stunned silence. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Chancellor Schwartz, for that amazing opening today. And thank all of you for attending. I'm Stephanie Johnson, this is Waleed Abdullati, and we are here alongside an amazing group of faculty and staff who are sitting here at the front of the room, scattered throughout and on the Zoom, to bring you all in and along to the Next Big Ideas initiative. There's so much opportunity to have a positive impact on the future, and we know this isn't going to happen without all of you. The future of CU Boulder starts today in this room. CU is extraordinary, and it's because of the collective genius and effort of all of us working together. So, as we approach our 150th anniversary, we want to do more than celebrate the past. We want to use this moment as a launch point to ask together, what should CU Boulder dare to build next? That idea is the heart of CU Boulder's Next Big Idea initiative. We're kicking off today, but we have a lot more work to do in connecting with Staff Council, following up with our student government, and ensuring that we reach everyone across the campus to generate the next big idea. So I've used those words a lot, the next big idea. What do we mean by the next big idea? It's not a traditional proposal. It's not a budget, an org chart, or a fully baked plan. A big idea is the first step toward a profound impact that could change the campus, the state, the nation, or even the world. To give you a sense of scope, big ideas might look like reimagining NCAR as a CU-based innovation hub. Or it could be an extension program to increase access to the arts and humanities in every county across Colorado. Or a campus-wide mentoring and coaching program so that every student, faculty, and staff member who wants support can have it. Because we know buffaloes do not roam alone. We need our herd. and for our student government and all the students listening today. That idea was delivered to me from a student. Chris, if you're listening. This is, I think, part of what we need. They're just examples. The real ideas actually come from you. So Waleed is going to tell you about the process to kick us off today.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. I think I love that even the examples she mentioned got applause because, no, seriously, because they're just little sparks, little thoughts. When you applauded, you thought, there's something in there I can latch onto. And these are the kinds of things we're after. So about the process, we didn't design this process in a vacuum. We looked at what works in organizations that are exceptionally good at breakthrough innovation. Across places like MIT, Stanford, and Michigan, companies like Amazon, Google, Apple, Pixar, we saw the same pattern. Start with big problems, not small. Protect imagination before evaluating feasibility. Mix disciplines and perspectives. So today we're starting right there at that point with imagination. At your tables, we're asking you to generate ideas that would make CU Boulder, the state of Colorado, or the world a better place. And we encourage you to focus on 3 simple questions. Why does this matter? What's the idea? How might the outcome be achieved? This is just first-order thinking. That's it. No polish required, just thinking. We invite you to have these conversations over lunch today. You can start submitting ideas through the QR code you'll see at your tables and on the screen. And whether your idea is fully formed or just a spark, for our live stream viewers, you can join the discussion right now via Zoom using the URL on your screen. And after today, the next Big Ideas team will gather submissions, look for patterns and themes, help connect people into teams, and invite the most promising ideas into the next phase of development. Our goal is to draw ideas from every corner on campus. Thank you again for being here and for being willing to imagine boldly. As we honor 150 years of transformation, we ask you to be more than bold. We ask you to be bolder. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, everyone. How about one more round of applause for Professors Johnson and Abdulati? I'm Leanne McDaniel-Parvez, another of the Staff Council Tri-Chairs. As the Chancellor shared, today is an opportunity to come together around the next big ideas for CU Boulder. Big ideas can come from anyone, so each one of you is an important part of this effort. Before we transition to lunch, I want to give a special thank you to the CU Events Planning and Catering team who have gone above and beyond to provide today's meal during the UMC renovations. Thank you. I also want to thank the student musicians Dan Buller and Joaquina Luma, who will share their talents with us during lunch. Yes. Finally, as you leave this afternoon, we invite you to take a challenge coin. Throughout history, challenge coins have been given to recognize achievements or commemorate significant events, particularly in military or law enforcement settings. This small bamboo token serves as a recognition of your exceptional service and a reminder of our commitments to each other, to the university, and to the world. Thank you for attending the 2026 State of the Campus Address. Enjoy your lunch and have a great afternoon. Thank you.